Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway right here on the Racers Elite Network, which is powered by iRacing. Tonight we have a incredible race for you guys here tonight, and we are super excited to have everybody here joining us. Before we get started, let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule for the upcoming season here. October 28th is going to be our first race here at Homestead, Miami. And then we're going to head off to Nashville Super Speedway, over to Pocono, to the legendary Myrtle Beach Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Then we're going to go turn left and right over at Lime Rock, Richmond Raceway, head over to Daytona, back here at the beginning of the new year at Las Vegas, Five Flags, Phoenix, Texas, and Chicagoland. And we hope that you will join us for every single one of these events as these drivers kick off today here with just a little exhibition race. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get this thing going. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to go ahead and take a look here at the track, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is a 1.5 mile super speedway. There's 4 turns. It did open up in June of 1971. Your pit speed is 50 miles per hour, and the banking is between 9 degrees to 20 degrees. And this pit road is one of the toughest pit roads to come down on. So that's something we're going to definitely watch for these trucks here today. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather now. Our weather is, we're sitting at just about 69 degrees outside, which is beautiful weather here at Las Vegas. Track temperature is only 70 degrees, so it's going to have a lot more grip than usual here on this pavement. And it's going to be clear skies with 1 mile an hour winds to the northeast with humidity just about 51. Your race length is 105 laps tonight, and we have 5 sets of tires for these drivers. We do have 65% fuel, and they will have 1 fast repair available to them to use. And if, for whatever reason, we may need it, we have 3 available Green-White-Checkers in our arsenal. And before I forget, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mike Taylor up here in the booth with the one, the only amazing Andrew Teft. And behind the cams, we have the awesome Christian Hill. So let's go ahead and get all this stuff underway. Andrew, what are your thoughts about today? And you want to go ahead and start off with our starting grid?
Yeah, thanks for the welcome, Mike. I was able to do a few laps in practice just to hop in and kind of get a feel for things, and the trucks are pretty planted out there, so I think it's going to be a really competitive race. And it seems like the tires hold on for a while, so it might take a while to see that long run speed come into play and see who's going to wear up their stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we get this thing going, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. On the pole, you have Philip Archibald. And to his outside, you're going to have Patrick Mollett. Row number 2, you have Brandon Sanfilippo and Aaron Roth to his outside. Inside row number 3, you have Jordan Shamblin. And to his outside, Brandon Biddy in that number 30 machine. Row 4, you have Cliff Adams to the inside, Barry Nelson in the outside. Row number 5, we have Alan Wild and Jesse Fox to his outside. Inside row 6, you have Kensley Smith and Steve Sizemore to his outside. Row 7, we have Frank Chavez and Kirby Wainscott to his outside. Pete Polini will be on the inside of row number 8, and he's joined by Mike Fudge in that number 2 machine. Mikey Allen on the inside of row number 9. And to his outside, it's going to be Chris Gaskell. Jonathan Stidham in the inside of row 10. On his outside, Alan Bergen. Row 11, Sean Dunaway and Andrew Teft, who's actually going to be up here in the booth with us. So that is going to help. Last row here, Curtis Eckert to the inside, and Timothy Eisberg will be on the outside back there in row 12. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to go green flag racing.
Excited to get this one kicked off. Really nice field for a preseason race.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this one kicked off here. And we are getting ready to go green flag here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as the field gets that green flag. And we are green flag for the preseason event here at Las Vegas as they head down into turn number 1 now. Still side by side. That was actually a pretty good start there for the outside lane, as they're not letting that inside lane get too far out here on the very first lap as they drive back down here on the back straightaway. I apologize about that. So Philip Archibald, he is out front currently with Brandon Sanfilippo. I apologize about that. I'm going to mess that up a lot. As you see, Cliff Adams trying to take over that third spot from Cliff Adams as they continue to run side by side down into turn number 3. And looks like that number's, who's that, 64? A couple numbers here mixed up on me. I apologize about that, guys. All right, so we have, so Cliff Adams in the number 80. He's working on the outside there of Mullet to try to get that third spot as they dive down into turn number 3 and 4 here. Still a good drag race here for that 4th spot as Patrick Mullet is able to pull up and not let any of these drivers get by. A couple of these. That's the 54. Okay. So that's 54 is for the 34. All right. So the 54 you will say is Patrick Mullet as they come back down here on this front straightaway. He is actually doing pretty well, holding off Cliff Adams and Jordan Shamblin back behind them, as everybody else is also trying to fight to get back up here towards the front of this pack. Aaron Roth back there in that number 57 machine, he's also trying to come forward through, as you see that 34 Mullet really pushing the 12 there into turn 3. Not exactly sure what his intentions were to try to move them up early on, but they will now run side by side for that third spot here, as your race leaders are also running side by side. Philip Archibald, he is looking to overtake on that outside from Filippo as they come out of turn 2. Still a drag race between your top 4 here, and they are just pretty much running a high-speed pace lap at this point in the race. Neither one of these drivers really giving up much room as they come out of turn number 4. Something that these drivers will want to pay attention to out of the exit of turn 4 is that these trucks, they will end up getting tight here. I would imagine probably within like the next 7 or 8 laps here, they're going to start getting tight on the exit of 4, but they're going to get looser on the exit of 2. Andrew, while you were out there, as we have beaten and banging now between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and 5th now, while you're out there, how did the track feel, and what do you think these drivers are going to experience throughout this race?
Well, there was a ton of grip out there. I think it's going to be a major battle for the bottom all night. You're able to really just run full throttle for a number of laps, so interested to see how long it takes for tires to start mattering, because everybody's kind of like Superman out here for at least a few laps.
Yeah, these drivers definitely the very first, first 10 laps, everybody's trying to play Superman, but if they're not careful at the same time, this track will eat away at the tires, and so we're gonna watch those lap times slowly die down as these tires get worn out, and then they're at that point they're either praying that their fuel run is ending or that there's going to be a caution.
From what I could tell, it looks like this is going to be a 3-stop race. We're getting about 31 laps, and you need 35 to be able to 2-stop it. So, I'm picturing guys coming in around lap 27 or so, and it's to be seen if going longer pays off or not.
So we're looking just probably about 23 laps or so here before we're going to start seeing some of these drivers come down pit road. And I know that we're only 10 laps in and we're already talking pit strategy. How often, once the green flag drops, when do you actually start talking about fuel strategy?
Here, not so much, just because it's so full throttle that if you try to save, you're so far off the pace that it just doesn't make the strategy doable, in my opinion. But I'd be more concerned about tires here than fuel, to be honest. Just seeing if a little lift early on helps on the long run, and I do think people will start to push after a little while here and drift up off the bottom, and those guys that can really wrap the line and stay down there, stay in it, should come to the front.
Yeah, as we now right on board here with that number 15 of Kensley Smith. Kensley Smith has been actually pretty strong the last few races out, that I've have experience with him, as he gets right on the back bumper of Wild in that number 33 machine. He's always somebody that you're going to watch for, because he's always going to end up in the front no matter where he qualifies. So I'm excited to continue to watch that number 15 machine work his way back to the front of this race.
Would you call him your pick to win?
I would say that Kensley Smith is my pick to win tonight. Absolutely. And who do you have your eyes set on?
I'm a little biased because he's my teammate, but I'm going to keep an eye on that 0-1 truck tonight. I think he's going to cut his way through the field. He's a really smart, strategic driver, and ran really well last season. I think this might be a breakthrough season for him.
Contact. Big contact there between the 15 machine there and that 28 machine. That was a really big contact. Barry Nelson. I thought Nelson was going to go around there for a second on the front straightaway, and we had a big wobble out of that number 30 machine of Brandon Biddy. He's slowly making his way towards the front in that spooky orange truck right there.
Yeah, I've seen Barry in the wall a few times here. I'm wondering if he's got maybe some wheel damage. Just seems a little bit squiggly down the straights.
Yeah, definitely coming out of turn 2. As the laps go on, these trucks, they're just going to keep getting looser and looser, as you see that 28 machine now trying to get back on the inside of that 707 D Designs truck. What a beautiful onboard view here with Barry Nelson. As we're looking out in front of here, and you can just see how much these trucks move here on the front straightaway. Oh, I'm sorry, on the back straightaway here. A lot of decent side-by-side racing. They're actually, a lot more of these trucks are single file than I anticipated this early on. As we now look back from behind Barry Nelson, looking at Sean Dunaway in that 0-1 machine. Sean Dunaway, as you said, last season he was very, very strong. I forgot to take a quick peek. Where did Sean Dunaway finish in the standings last season?
Either second or third off the top of my head. I believe it was him, Blair, and I last season. But as you can see, I think the tires are starting to pay off a little bit here. Sean's starting to cut his way through. He's got his teammate Curtis right behind him too.
Curtis Ecker, yeah, he started way back in the field. He's already moved up himself up 7 spots since we went green flag racing. Curtis Ecker, he's also pretty fast, almost wherever we go. So it does surprise me to see Curtis Ecker slowly making his way towards the front of the field here now. Sean finished 3rd in the point standings last season, so Sean Dunaway, he knows how to get it done here in the trucks. So it's going to be exciting to see if he can, make up 2 more positions in this upcoming season. Back out here to our race leaders, Cliff Adams. He is still stalking that number 12 machine of Brandon's Filippo. They're running pretty much neck and neck. Their last lap times were less than 1/100th of a second from separation. As you see, Adams right there on the back bumper of Brandon in that 12 machine. I wonder if he's trying to use that, take the air off of his back bumper out on the exit of these corners to try to see if he can get Brandon to slide up the track a little bit in these corners so he can get a run on the inside.
Yeah, I think it may be tough to pull off the pass up top unless you can get some air on that right rear quarter of the car in front of you. Another option would be to kind of move them up with the air like you're talking about. It does seem like they're starting to push a little bit off of 4 and 2.
Yep, absolutely. Jordan Shamblin in that number 95 right behind them in that 3rd spot. I've been watching him the last couple of laps, and he's just rim riding it now right up against that yellow wall. Doing that, they're going to be able to save just a little bit of tire instead of trying to keep it down low. But they're still going to hold on to that momentum on the exit as we have started our green flag pit stops here. Brandon Biddy and Kirby Wainscott, they've already come on down. And here comes Barry Nelson along with Pete Pellini. He's down on pit road now. So with pit cycles starting, the question is going to be how long will our race leaders wait to bring their vehicles down pit road? As we see Nelson now in his pits. Let's see. Obviously, he is going to go ahead and get 4 fresh Goodyear Eagle tires on that Chevrolet.
It's a new look for Barry this season. He normally drives the 196 car.
So it's a brand new car altogether for Barry. So that's going to be very interesting to see what he can do in that number 28 this season.
New scheme, new car, new team, whole 9 yards.
So almost everything is brand new here for him as we catch back up here with our race leaders. I'll keep tabs on everybody that does come down pit road as Mikey Allen is down on pit road at the moment. As you see Adams and San Filippo, they are now still battling out here for this first spot. I think these guys are right now just minding their P's and Q's at the moment as Kensley Smith in that number 15 Chevrolet, he is now down here on pit road. These drivers slowly but surely starting to make their way down here pit road. I think a lot more drivers should start seeing the pits here. As you see the 80 of Cliff Adams, he's slowing up now to come down pit road. Big slide for him as he comes out of the corner and able to get it low down enough. As you see Archibald down on pit road here as well. Smith is down. Chavez Frank Chavez in that number 13. He's down here on pit road as well.
Should see a whole parade here starting. I don't know if we're gonna see tires matter that much tonight. Not seeing a ton of fall off, and sometimes when you have races like that, going long on these stints doesn't really help you. Kind of expecting just the guys that chop it up even to probably prosper.
Yeah, especially with these very short fuel stints because of how much fuel these drivers are allowed in their fuel tanks for this race. It does really limit their track time per set of tires, so tires may not really play too much of a factor here tonight, as you said.
Yeah, I think you can go as far as 31 or 32, so you could set yourself up for a shorter final run, but who knows with cautions too. One yellow can really change the picture.
Yeah, that's absolutely true about that. You know, it's going to be very interesting, you know, if a caution will come out. When will a caution come out?
Looks
Mike
like Mike
Fudge
had some kind of violation on pit road.
Yeah, Mike Fudge is going to have to make his way back down. It looks like for a possible drive-through. As of right now, we are still awaiting 4 drivers to come down into the pits. As I say that, all 3 drivers are now coming down pit road, and now we are waiting to see how everything will cycle through. Currently, it looks like who do we got here? Currently 5th, the first person to make a pit is Kirby Wainscott in that number 10. But I'm not sure if he's going to cycle out here to the front or not, as we are waiting here to see if this stuff updates. And yeah, Kirby Wainscott in that number 10 Racers Elite Toyota, he is out front now.
I saw him duck in a little bit earlier than the rest. Looks like it worked out pretty good for him.
Yeah, and Kensley Smith has also taken over that second spot, and he's right on the back bumper of Wainscott. I think Smith has kind of forgot that they're not at Talladega anymore. As you see, he's still riding that back bumper of Wainscott, just pushing him around the track.
Yeah, the draft is such a huge factor in these trucks here at Vegas. It's almost like a plate track, like Daytona or New Atlanta.
Yeah, the draft is absolutely phenomenal, especially down the back straightaway here. You know, you would actually imagine that it would be more beneficial here on the front straightaway, where it's a little bit longer, but you know, there's just, I guess, because of that curve, you know, for the oval, as you see, Smith now taking the inside of Wainscott here to take over that top spot, and it will be now Wainscott's job to start pushing Smith here. But I guess because of that curve on the front straightaway, I don't think the draft is as prevalent as it is on the back straightaway.
Yeah, it looked like Kensley thought maybe they could tandem draft away there from 2 guys behind him, but those guys are coming on pretty quick here.
Yeah, as you see, Cliff Adams in that number 80 Ford F-150, he's now take over that second spot from Wainscott. Let's see. Yeah, Adams, he actually only has 1 lap fresher tires than Kensley Smith. But Wainscott, he came in on lap 21. So there's a 6-lap difference there, and as you guys can see with Cliff Adams, that's how much of a difference those 2 tires make, or those 6 laps different makes here, as we see Adams getting ready to attack Kensley Smith in that Napa number 15 Chevrolet. And he will do a little bump drafting of his own. And here he comes to the inside now. Adams is attacking to the inside of Smith now on the exit of turn 2. What an incredible drag race you see here. Adams not able to make up too much ground there on the back straight, but here they come in the corner now. Adams will, oh, that was close. He will start to pull away on the exit of 4, but here comes that number 15 Smith back to the outside as they head down here into turn number 1. Still side by side for these two drivers. With these two drivers battling hard like they are right now, how much do you think this is going to eat up at their tires trying to pass each other at this point?
I think right here, Kensley is hoping that tires are kind of going to balance out. Sometimes you'll get a few really good laps on them, and then they just kind of plateau, and maybe he's hoping they'll plateau and they can just stick together here if he holds them up enough. Might be able to kind of latch onto his draft and just maintain and see how it plays out in the next pit cycle.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. As you see, Brandon Sanfilippo is gaining quickly on the back bumpers of Adams and Smith as they exit turn 4 here. He has quickly, brought those two guys in as these two almost touch once again here on the front straightaway. This last lap, Brandon in that 12 machine, he was just about 0.3 of a second quicker than these two that are running side by side. So he's now going to try to make some noise here for the race lead. Now the question is, will he attempt to go 3 wide, as this track is wide enough to do that? As we will see what happens here.
If I had to guess, he's going to keep it 2 and try to be smart here. He is Kensley's teammate also over at DEI. But I'm wondering if maybe Brandon learned something that first run with his tires, because I saw him sort of take it easy there for a few laps. He and the 80 were pretty much right on top of each other the whole first run, and right back then, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7 laps ago, saw the 80 finally build a little gap. So maybe he'll come on stronger here at the end.
Yeah, definitely. Just that short, 20 lap stint at the very beginning of this race, you can learn a lot, as you said, and that is probably something that Brandon has learned. He took his time, and big movement out of Kensley that time out of turn number 4. He lost a lot of momentum, and as you see, Brandon Sanfilippo coming back to attacking on his outside. It is his turn to try to take over that race lead.
Yeah, you can really see how he's trying to make up for the tire difference. He's doing a really good job, though.
Yeah, if he can hold. Yeah, if Smith can hold on touch. Whoa!
And it just started pushing all at once. It's like one lap, a flip switched, and switch flipped. I think I said that backwards.
Yeah, I just got a little radio chatter there from Smith saying that he got extremely tight and he was off the throttle, and he quickly apologized to Cliff Adams in that number 80 machine. He definitely didn't want to take him out. So, he let off and was able, thank God that they were both able to keep it straight as we stay green here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And we are now working lap 44 of this event. Laps are quickly winding down here as we are quickly approaching the 50 lap mark as we jump back here to that 08 machine of Steve Sizemore, who's trying to get around that number 28 of Barry Nelson on the outside, as they will as Sizemore will accomplish that, and Aaron Roth in that number 57 machine, he's going to attack to the outside of Nelson here as well.
Also seen some of these guys that went long the first run start to cut their way through. See Sean Dunaway is up to 11th. I'm trying to think of who else might have stayed out long in that first run.
let's
I
see.
believe,
Yeah,
Timothy did also.
yeah. Taking a look here at my data, it looks like the ones that stayed out the longest is Chris. How do you pronounce his last name in 707? Is it Gazel?
I'm gonna need to ask him actually.
And and Timothy Eisburn. I was always saying Eisburn, and he's like, no, it's Eisburn. Oh, okay. So he stayed out for 30 laps, and Jesse Fox as well in that number 69 machine. He also stayed out until lap 30. So those guys have the freshest tires back there for 14th, 15th, and 16th as they're slowly starting to make their way through this field.
Another person having a really strong run is Phillip up there in 5th. Somebody that made the chase last season, had a really great performance.
Yeah, Philip Archibald in that number 99 Toyota. He's been strong. He started up there near the front of this field, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he pushed a little too hard there at the start. So he's still winding his way back to the front of this field. So as we take a look back here with Barry Nelson in that number 28 machine, he is doing an incredible job. Minding his P's and Q's back here in that 13th spot, but seems like he's just having a little bit of trouble getting that number 28 Haviland machine back through this field.
Looks like that 80 is switching it up and coming in early this time.
Yeah, that 80 machine of Cliff Adams now down on pit road. So this is actually pretty early, coming lap 50. So they coming in 49 laps into it, coming to lap 50. So yeah, so that's probably just about right for them. You can go. It looks like the average, time everybody came in was like right around lap 26. So this might be very beneficial here for Cliff Adams. And now we're just going to wait and watch to see when everybody else decides to follow suit. As we do have Barry Nelson, Kirby Wayne Scott, Jesse Fox, Jonathan Stidham, and Mikey Allen all on pit road. Kensley Smith in that number 15, he's down. Aaron Roth has come down. A lot of... I absolutely love it when it's a green flag condition, because it's kind of like a monkey see, monkey do, or monkey, let me, see what I can do about leapfrogging you.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like mowing your lawn on the weekend. You start, and then next thing you know, the whole neighborhood's mowing.
Right. That you have that is such a true statement. Such a true statement there. All right, we still got 5 drivers still out on track, waiting to come in to make their pit stops. And we do got that 95 of Jordan Shamblin. He is out front with Sean Dunaway in that 01 machine, Alan Wild in the 33, and Curtis Ecker in that number 8 machine. He is still waiting to come out into to make their pit stops here. As we take a look here at Jordan Shamblin in that number 4395 machine. I have a little bit of fun with that when we got different numbers, and so I'll call them by both numbers because we visually see 43, but on the tickers it shows 95. As you saw that big That was absolutely crazy. One driver just tried to pit like from the middle of the track.
Dylan reference on the radio.
Yeah, I'm actually listening to that right now. Uh, but Sean Dunaway just had a shock in this race as he will pull away. And now we are still waiting for 4 more drivers here to come down pit road. So far, so good for a lot of these drivers. You know, we're going to see how these drivers are going to be able to come out in front here as he's Shamblin now coming down pit road. Patrick Mullet in that number 34 machine, he's down on pit road as well. Timothy Eisburn and Chris Gotzel, these two drivers are still waiting to come down pit road for their stops here. Man, that number 92 Hershey's Chevrolet, he is absolutely getting eaten up alive out here on everybody here on fresher tires. And he's just having a hard time trying to get down to pit road as these cars keep taking him to the inside. Your race leader running just about a little bit more than a second off pace compared to everybody else. As you see, we ride here with Timothy Eisberg. And he's still going to stay out here. I think he's going to try to stretch it as far as he can. He is now coming up on the back bumper of that number 13 of Frank Chavez.
Sanfilippo seems to have lost a decent chunk of time. I was thinking I might like to be in his spot tonight. He had gone a few laps longer than the 80 and would have fresher stuff, and didn't go too much longer where he'd be out, you know, like a sitting duck out there, but it's a little bit further back than I thought he would be when they all got back on track.
Yeah, it's definitely a unfortunate situation there for that number 12 machine. Brandon out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. Alrighty, I just got word that our race leaders are going to go ahead and start making their way down on pit road. And so far, we've only had one driver get hit with a penalty on pit road, which is actually very surprising for me here at Las Vegas. Las Vegas is one of those pits that I see a lot of people get hit with those penalties, and I'm one of those guys. So we have had 2 green flag pit stops, and only one person got hit with a penalty for speeding. So for me, that's absolutely incredible. As
made an attempt at entry in practice just for the heck of it, and yeah, I was tank slapping all over the place coming off the transition there. Pretty abrupt.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those, you know, hardest. It's one of the hardest pit lanes to come down on. And so whenever I see Las Vegas, I'm like, all right, we got to pit, and I'm like, okay. Let's go ahead and quickly jump back up here to Cliff Adams, the number 80 machine out front. Cliff Adams out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. After this pit cycle, he has a 3.5 second lead over Kensley Smith in that number 15 Chevrolet. So I think Cliff Adams has found something in that Valor Ford F-150 machine, as he is still somewhat pulling away here. Yeah.
He must have had a really great pit cycle, or maybe something happened to Brandon during his, because I think I'm seeing about a 5-second gap between them, and Brendan only went about 3 laps longer.
Yeah, just I guess if you know how to get in and out of these pits, then you're going to do an incredible job all night long, and you can make up a lot of ground on pit entry here. So to a point, it doesn't really surprise me that Adams has been able to pull out to a 3-second gap over Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine. It's all about, getting on pit road. And as you can tell, it looks like Cliff Adams, he's got it figured out. But Smith is slowly but surely eating away at that difference in time, as he has brought it down from 3.5 down to just about 3 seconds behind Adams now. So our next round of pit stops should start coming up probably here within the next 10 to 15 laps for some of these drivers.
Yeah. You can do about 31, so the earliest I would expect somebody would be about lap 74 to be able to make it to the end.
Yeah.
That's if you wanted to run it dry your final stop.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that these drivers are probably going to take into consideration now at this point. Do they want a short pit, or do they want to try to stretch it as far as they can to have the fresher tires late in the run? So it's going to be very interesting to see what the actual game plan will be here, as we're watching that number 43 machine. No, yeah. So the 95, the 4395 machine of Jordan Shamblin. Looks like we had an issue here with Steve Sizemore in that number 08 Chevrolet. He came down into the pit. Oh, he got a black flag. As I just heard from race control, he did get a black flag. So he's down here serving that. As we come back out here and take a look here at Kensley Smith.
Fortunately, Steve's been having some computer troubles lately. Just trying to figure those out.
Gotcha. See, there's so much that goes into these races, just not, for the broadcasters up here in the booth with us, and, but everything that happens down on track and with theirs, issues. I play it off, when something like that happens, I play it off like there's a radio connection issue, or, something of that sort. But, at the end of the day, a lot of people still remember that, hey, we are on a simulator here. And if we can get you thinking that it's not a simulator and it's real life, then we're doing something right up here in the booth. As we continue to take a look here at that number 15 Napa. Oh. It's all right. It's good. We're now taking a look at that 01 machine of Sean Dunaway, and he's trying to attack that number 34 machine there of Patrick Millette to take over that 8th spot. But he's got Curtis Ecker in that number 8 right behind him. I absolutely love that paint scheme on that number 8 machine. That green just really looks good here under the lights. I absolutely love it, as they are starting to make their way around Kirby Wainscott in that number 10 machine, as he's got a little bit older tires than everybody else here, and it seems like Kirby Wainscott is having issues trying to save enough tires to be competitive and stay up here in the top 10. So it's going to be interesting if he can learn something this time around and have a better final run here when we start making our way down pit road again here very shortly. Curtis Ecker now starting to put some pressure on that 0-1 machine of Sean Dunaway. As Mullet, he's kind of pulling away from these two just a little bit here. But then, of course, as soon as I say that, they drive right back to that back bumper of that 34 machine. And we have a battle for the lead. Jordan Shamlin in that number 4395 machine, he has made his way in front of Adams. The only one who has really, successfully made move on Adams and get away with it. As you see Shamlin slowly trying to pull away now as they enter turns 3 and 4 and out back to the start finish line. This is actually a pretty good run here by Jordan Shamlin in that number 4395 machine. As I'm taking a look here at their last pit cycle, Jordan Shamlin, he came in back on lap 56, so he's got 7 lap fresher tires than Adams, and right now that's making a big difference.
I think he came in around lap 49 or 50, so you're starting to see that difference now.
Yeah.
Thinking a couple of those guys behind him would hope that they would battle a little bit more and slow down so they could catch up. But yeah, they were pretty efficient about that pass there.
Yeah, as you see that number 15 of Kensley Smith, he's coming down for what should be his final pit stop of the race, as your race leaders are now getting ready to start working lap 78. So it's going to be very interesting here. 11.6 second stop there for Smith. That was a really good stop time for Smith. As we take a look at that number 21, or that 12 that 99 of Philip Archibald. Threw me off there for a quick second. So he's doing having a pretty good race here, staying up in that top 5 all race long. And he's going to come out with a 14.7 second pit stop.
57 pitting.
Fox had a 14.1. That's a pretty good stop there for Fox. Nelson 14.3. Let's see what Adams' pit time is going to be in that number 80 machine. 14.1 there for Adams. Aaron Roth in that number 57 machine out of Milford, Nebraska. He's coming down pit road. Let's see what kind of a pit stop he can have. Wayne Scott now down on pit road here as well, as we're waiting for Roth to pull out of his pits.
Wondering if Kensley might have taken 2 tires there with that short stop.
Let's take a look here. Kensley Smith, he came down with for just about a 12-second pit stop. So yeah, it's very possible that he only did take 2 tires. So that's going to be a very interesting call there. It's what kind of benefit, as you see big movement contact.
It's safe.
The 0-1 brushes the wall. That was an incredible save there by Sean Dunaway in that 0-1 machine. And everybody keeps it looking forward. Talk about having a heart attack. That was close, and that was about to be a big one there, as these guys are currently battling it out for the race lead.
It looks like the difference of fresh and old tires that we're seeing back there.
Yeah, definitely a very big difference there, as you see that number 2199 machine flying around the outside there of your race leader of Curtis Ecker. You know, that just proves how much difference these tires, you know, make. As he's already pulling away, you know, to about 30 car lengths in front of Ecker. So if I was Ecker, I wouldn't want to wait too much longer before coming back down pit road for some fresh tires here. As Sean Dunaway in that 01 machine, he's heading down pit road now. Looking at that beautiful 01 Hello Kitty Chevrolet. A 10.7 second stop for Sean Dunaway. That was an incredible stop there for him, as we see Alan Wild coming down pit road.
And 2 tires will definitely help it rotate better for a few laps. Just, I don't know if that's too far to go on rights.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting call, you know, as our laps continue to wind down now. As your race leaders are working lap 85, so we have just about 20 laps to go. Yeah, we have just about 20 laps to go till the end of this race, as you see Curtis Ecker and that number 8 machine come down pit road to get fresh tires here. And taking a look at Kensley Smith in that number 15 Napa Chevrolet, he's going to take over that top spot. And he's got just about, a little bit over half a second back to Jordan Shamblin, who has 4 fresh tires versus Kensley's 2. And I don't think that was the right call, taking only 2 tires now, as Shamblin in that number 95 machine is inching his way closer and closer, and right on his heel is that number 80 of Cliff Adams.
Yeah, I think if I was going to take 2, I'd probably run it out all 3 runs and then just have a short, you know, stint to the finish on 2 tires. 20 plus laps just feels like a long time on 2.
Yeah, you're looking about trying to stretch those right side tires just about a good 60 laps or so. I'm sorry, 40 laps. So that's a long time, you know, especially here at Las Vegas on 2 tires. And as you guys see here, as we have had the pass for the lead, that just doesn't really work very well here at Las Vegas. And this is definitely something, you know, to keep your eye on when we do return here. Oh, we do have a caution. Caution is out.
In that case, maybe he played his cards just right.
That is very, very possible. It looks like Brandon Biddy and that number 30 machine had issues. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what. All right, let's take a look here as you see Biddy on the outside of Eisburn. Eisburn hard into the outside wall, up on 2 wheels, and then he will just back it up into turn 1. And here comes Biddy. Hard in contact once again to that outside wall. Hard contact here on the front straightaway. It looks like Eisburn was trying to come back up on track, but didn't realize that Biddy was there, or he thought Biddy was just a little bit higher than he was. And he practically just turned himself across the nose of that number 30 machine definitely a very, heartfelt situation there, as you see Biddy backing it right back into the outside wall, and he will go ahead and move on.
It makes me wonder if Biddy knew Kirby was there or not. Biddy was kind of running like Tim would use the apron there, but he couldn't because the 10 was there.
Right, that is actually, a very good, thought there, as you see all your race leaders come down for fresh tires. There it is. That number 43 machine came out first off of pit road. Sean Dunaway and Alan Wild both stayed out here, and they have just about 5 and 6 lap different tires than everybody else. So with these tires now cooling off, as they are now pacing behind the iRacing pace car, once these tires cool off, will it build up a little bit more grip for these drivers that do have 5 to 6 laps older tires than everybody else?
If it goes green from here, I think you're gonna get a slight push toward the end of the run. But realistically, I think you're just gonna run qualifier laps here and flat-foot it and hope for the best. Looks like we might wind up with about, I don't know, 13 to go or so. It takes a while for the tires to even matter, so this is gonna get intense.
Definitely going to get really wild here, as we're going to circle around and restart on lap 92 of 105.
Did Sean stay out here?
Sean did. Wow. Sean Dunaway, he stayed out, and Alan Wild both stayed out. Cliff Adams in that number 80, and Jordan Shamblin in that 95-43 machine, they're going to start right behind them. So it's going to be a very interesting restart to see, old tires versus new here on this restart.
It really didn't come in that long ago either, so yeah, see what happens. It's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, lap 83 and 84 for those two drivers, as we are now working lap number 91. So let's see what happens here on this restart. Getting ready to pull hard left. Pace car is off. Get into that restart zone, and Sean Dunaway is going to bring them back to the green. That was an incredible start there for Sean Dunaway at the start of this restart, as Jordan Shamblin in that number 43 machine, he is right there on the back bumper, now attacking to his out, and they will drag race down here and down the back straightaway, as everybody else behind them will fan out 2 and 3 wide. But here comes Shamblin hard on that outside, still here for your race lead, as that battle for third back there is starting to go 3 wide. A 3 wide situation now with Alan Wild, Kensley Smith, and that number 80 of Cliff Adams. These guys are starting not to give up too much room now, as laps are quickly winding down, as they are trying to make their way back to the front of this field. Kensley Smith hanging strong on that outside. Adams, we're now working on the inside of that 0-1 machine. Kensley Smith thought about making it 3 wide, but he thought better of it, and he'll go double wide here on the front straightaway, as he is now looking to try to find a way to around that number 8 and 80 of Ecker and Adams for that second spot. He will go ahead and go down and give Adams a really hard push, as they are now getting to the back bumper of Shamblin here on the exit turn number 4. We now have just about a 4-lap or 4-truck battle here for your race lead. And we have trouble in the down in the into turn 1. The 34, the 12, more contact Brandon Biddy once again involved in this one. Jesse Fox is involved in that number 69 machine. Jonathan Stidham is involved. Oh,
Yeah, with as tight as these trucks are, any little thing that happens is going to collect a few.
yeah, quite. Just got word that a couple of these drivers have received meatballs, and that's going to be that number 30 machine of Brandon Biddy, Brandon Brandon Sanfilippo. He has received a meatball after being one of the strongest cars here today. And Jesse Fox in that number 69, he has also received a meatball here as well.
Okay, I did that. I didn't have mine, but that would be a very sorry about that.
As you see, a lot of hard hits there. That looks like that's that 54. He came up the track just a little bit, and that 12 machine of Brandon was there, and they just slid up right in front of the rest of the pack, and it was just on from there.
Yeah, or for those guys to go.
Yep, that 42 of Jonathan Stidham, he spun to, no pun intended, he spun down to the apron to avoid contact. So he took a smart move from his sponsor, Spun, and made it work for him down in turn 1 to avoid that wreck. As we take a look here at Sean Dunaway down here on pit road, looks like he's getting some fresh tires now on his 01 machine. Curtis Ecker, he's down here on pit road as well, getting tires. Mikey Allen as well in that number 67 machine. They're down here getting tires on their machines. So we're starting to get down to the nitty gritty. We have a little bit less than 10 laps to go. It's going to be a very interesting final, like maybe 8 laps. Alright guys, taking a look here, the other 2 drivers were able to use up their fast repair, but unfortunately Brandon Biddy in that number 30 machine, he was unable to use it, so he's going to have to wait to get repairs done on his machine before he can come back out on track. Timothy Eisburn in that number 90 and that number 92 Hershey machine, he got hit with speeding down on pit road. I don't know about you, Andrew, but I'm ready for this thing to finish and get these guys back home because, oh man, it's crazy out here on the track at the moment.
Yeah, I liked what I was seeing out of the 15 on that restart. He was working the middle pretty well, threading the needle. Excited to see what he tries here on this restart.
Yeah, you know, like I said, Kensley Smith, he's been pretty strong everywhere that I have seen him race, and he is my pick to win it here tonight. And in just probably about 7 laps, hopefully he will bring it home for that win. But we got to get through the top 2 leaders first. Jordan Shamblin and Cliff Adams, who both have been very, very strong all race long. All right, pace cart is off. Shamblin bringing them down into the restart zone, and we are green flag racing once again here at Las Vegas. Shamblin gets a very good, strong start there, and here comes Smith working on the inside of that 80 of Cliff Adams, as he will clear Adams here in turns 1 and 2, and not only will Smith go around, but that number 99 of Philip Archibald, he has made his way around Adams as well as they climb up through the bankings here in 3 and 4 and back to this long straightaway. Archibald now working that inside lane of Gensley Smith. So he's looking to come for some redemption here in the closing laps to take over that second spot.
3 got out a little bit far. I'm thinking they might get a large run here.
Yeah, that's very possible that could happen here. As you see that 80 possibly trying to do a little bit more bump drafting with Gensley Smith to get him out front. And Shamblin, he's doing a good job at working both of those lanes to keep both of these drivers at bay as they now going to rocket down here into turn number 1. Oh, we have trouble here in the back, I believe. Yep, it's the 707 of Chris Goskell. He's around. I believe I saw a couple, I want to say, I believe it was possibly Barry Nelson as well, I think I saw involved. Alrighty, let's go ahead and come back here and take a look and see what happened here on the front straightaway. Oh, that. Let's see. Oh, just that coming back up on the apron, the 707 pinched that 28 machine of Barry Nelson up into the outside wall, and that spun Chris Gassel around in that Toyota. Very unfortunate there for that D-Design driver. As we see Barry Nelson currently down on pit road here as well. So he's now going to try to get a little bit of repairs done and hopefully come back out swinging here in the closing laps.
Another interesting storyline is Philip Archibald. He's got 114 starts with us. This will be his 115th, and no previous wins. Looks like he's running up there in second, I believe. That'd be really neat.
Yep, he's definitely doing an incredible job up front. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, as we are getting here into the closing final laps here, next Tuesday, October 28th, we are going to have our season opening at Homestead Miami Speedway right here on Racer Elite Network at 7:45. We will be taking the green flag, so we hope to see everybody come on out and enjoy a beautiful day of racing down in Homestead. So definitely come out October 28th, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Again, right here live on the Racers Elite Network, which is powered by iRacing.
And it's not too late to join the fun. The next 2 nights we've got tryout races going on. Next week begins points racing, so first race of the regular season. Yeah, this is a really great way for some new folks to show off their stuff, and some of our long-standing guys to come out and have some fun before things get serious.
Yeah, so definitely come on out, come check them out. What's the racerselite.com?
Yep, you can
You
find
can
a
also
Discord
find
invite right on racerselite.com, and
Yep.
accept the invite, shoot me a message, we'll get you all set up.
Absolutely. Go ahead and also, you got that QR code right there on your screen as well. So make sure you guys, take care of all business. Let's get you guys out here running as well. Really good, fun group of guys out here running in. you know, this is probably some of the cleanest drivers that I have seen here in a very, very long time. So I am absolutely honored to be up here calling these races with these drivers, because I know whenever we see Racers Elite Network go live, I know it's going to be a good race.
Thought Phil might have snagged second there before that yellow came out, but it looks like he's running in third there on the bottom.
Yeah, Philip in that number 9921 machine. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do as the pace car makes that hard left onto pit road. And we are coming to a Green-White-Checkered right here at Las Vegas. And we are racing here once again. A very good start by Shamblin there, as you see the 80 of Adams push Kinsley on that outside lane as they dive now down into turn number 2, or 1 and 2. And he will run side by side hard with Philip here on the out inside of it. A drag race now here for that second spot. Shamblin currently has nobody to worry about as they come through turns 3 and 4 and back out to the front straightaway. And the white flag should be in the air this time by. Indeed it is. As these drivers now dive down into turn number 1. Here comes Philip attacking on the inside to take over that race lead. But here comes Kinsley Smith, 3 wide for the race lead here. Ladies and gentlemen, who is going to hold the momentum out of turn 4? That is going to be the ultimate question. They are now 3 wide. Contact. Oh, I don't even know where to go. One is up in the air. The 42 is upside down. 707 is upside down. The 8 is upside down. What an incredible finish right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's some great chatter in the chat right now with somebody finishing on their lid. They said, "Hey, at least you can say that you finished on your ceiling."
What a way to earn your first one! Holy cow!
Yeah, absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Driver of that number 9921 Micro Center Toyota, Philip Archibald. What an incredible run for him.
I hope he burns it down. It's one of my favorite things about doing this is watching the first time winners.
Absolutely. Philip Archibald started on the pole for this race, fell back near the middle of the pack, and then on the final 2 laps, he was able to take over that race lead and hold off the hard-charging drivers before they got wrecked, actually, of Kinsley Smith and gosh, I don't even know who else was up there with them. But avoiding all the craziness was Aaron Roth and Sean Dunaway. He came back strong for a 3rd place finish there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look real quick at our final results. And then we'll take a small commercial break and we'll come back live for driver interviews. Finishing out the race, Canadians' very own Philip Archibald in that number 99 Toyota, followed by Aaron Roth in that number 57 machine. Very strong finish for Sean Dunaway in that 01 machine. He's moved up quite a bit after starting 21st. Jordan Shamblin lost it there coming out of turn 4 and fell back to that 4th spot. Cliff Adams was able to hold on for that 5th spot as mayhem ensued here on the front straightaway. Alan Wild in that number 33 was 6th. Frank Chavez in the number 13 came home 7th. Brandon Sanfilippo came home 8th. Kirby Wainscott 9th. Jesse Fox 10th. 11th, you have Jonathan Stidham. Kinsley Smith will bring it home 12th after crashing on that final corner exit, along with Curtis Ecker in the 08. Chris Gotzel in that 707 machine finished upside down, along with Pete Polini in that number 15 machine. I'm sorry, that number 47 machine. Barry Nelson, the 28 machine, had issues there on the final corner as well. Mikey Allen in that 67 machine. Mike Fudge, Patrick Mullet, and Brandon Biddy will round out your top 20. Finishing out the field will be Timothy Eisburn in that number 92 machine, Steve Sizemore, and Alan Bergen in that 00 machine. Let's go ahead and take a brief break here, and we'll come back and we'll talk with your top 3.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway right here on Racers Elite Network. We are going to go ahead and talk with our top 3, and we're going to start off with third place runner-up Sean Dunaway. I'm going to go ahead and let you take over this one, Andrew, as this is one of your drivers. Sean Dunaway, do you got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
All right, Mr. Dunaway. What were you thinking that final restart? It looked like you might have stayed out on 2 tires or no tires. Might have realized that wasn't going to pay off. Came in, I assume, probably got 4 or 2. And were you wishing you stayed out after, or are you still happy you came down?
I'm pretty happy with what I did. So, I started in the back during the race. During the pit cycles, I was just very slow into the pits. Wasn't very aggressive. Lost a lot of time for sure just throughout the pit cycles there. Couldn't work my way up to the front. So on that third stint, I decided to just take right sides only. Then that caution flew. Decided to stay out for that particular period in time. Then another caution finally flew, was able to get those 4 tires, was able to work my way up to the front. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the P3 after all that for sure.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like going long wasn't really paying you back in any way. Like it does at other tracks. Do you think that's probably the case, or maybe the tires just plateau after a few laps?
Yeah, for sure. People were pitting around lap 22 through 25. I was like, I bet I could stay out a little longer, see what happens. Yeah, it definitely didn't pay off. Definitely should have gotten those tires a little earlier. But hey, the cautions flew, and we were able to get that P3.
So you're coming off a really strong championship finish last season. How are you feeling about the tracks coming up, and how this season's going to go for you?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely better usually at the intermediates. The truck's a little different because, Las Vegas here is basically a super speedway for the trucks. But, looking forward to doing some more tire saving tracks for sure. Definitely really good in the short tracks with this truck. Although last season, it was a little on edge for me at the short tracks. I made a lot of mistakes every now and then, but looking towards the season, hopefully get a lot of top fives again. Hopefully get that win in early in the season, and then fight for the playoffs here.
Yeah, well, you're a contender every week, so we're looking forward to it. Let's pass it off to you so you can give out your thanks.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to thank my wife, my mom and stepdad for always watching, and then my cats for always trying to ruin my race here.
All right. Thanks, Sean. We'll pass it back to you, Mike.
See you guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 01 Hello Kitty Chevy Silverado, Sean Dunaway. Let's go ahead and now get second place finisher of Aaron Roth up here. Aaron Roth, this is Mike and Andrew up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Awesome. Aaron, what an incredible finish for you here today. You started up front, up and fourth, and you avoided all that mayhem on the final lap there to come home second. Tell us about that final restart. What was going through your head coming out of turn number 4, and how did you avoid carnage?
But the last few restarts were kind of, well, you just had to get in the gas and go. You didn't want to lift, but I did a couple times just to keep from having another caution. But you had to stay in the gas and just let her rip and try to keep it straight.
Yeah, for sure. That number 57 machine, has been very strong. It was strong all night. If you were able to have a couple extra laps here, do you think you would have been able to catch and pass Philip?
I think I could. I think I could have. You get a run if you're behind somebody. You can get a run in the draft and get a run on them, and it's possible. I think I could have, but we'll never know, I guess. I think I'm really going to enjoy this truck series. I ran Xfinity last year. I think I'll really enjoy this class.
Yeah, the trucks are always a blast to drive and, to see out on track. So talk about this upcoming season. Tell us about your plans for this season and how do you feel you're going to stack up against these guys?
I think there'll be some other guys in here that were in the Xfinity class, and there'll be some new guys that I haven't raced against. So that's always a learning experience, learning to race with new guys. I'm hoping for a good season and at least stay on the lead lap these races. Last year was my first league I ever was in, and I had a lot of learning to do. And if we can stay in the middle of the pack and run towards the front, we'll be happy and maybe get a win or so.
For sure. Alrighty. Is there anybody that you would like to thank before we release you tonight?
Just my chaos crew that helps me out, and my people that watch. That's about it. And thanks for Andrew for putting this on.
Absolutely. Andrew, is there any questions that you would like to ask before we send them off?
No, I think you had everything. Just congratulations. Really did a great job of getting the most out of the truck tonight.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 57 Chevy Silverado and Aaron Roth. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get your race winner, driver of that number 9921 Micro Center Toyota, Philip Archibald. Do you got a copy?
I got you loud and clear.
Beautiful. First and foremost, how do you pronounce your last name so I can do it correctly from now on?
Archibald.
Hey, I was right. for once.
Yes, sir. You got her.
Awesome, Philip. So you qualified on the pole. You fell back about halfway throughout this race, but you made a run there on the second to final lap, and you were able to bring it home to victory lane. How was that number 99 machine for you today, and what did you learn?
I fired off fast. The first run was really, really good. Felt like the middle of the second run, beginning of the third run, the track kind of went through a fairly big change, and then felt like on the last run, it kind of all came back.
That is awesome. And I believe I heard Andrew mention this is your first race here with Racers Elite. So coming out here, your first race, getting on the pole, and then coming home with a win. What's your how much momentum do you think you're going to have now leading into the season next week?
Man, I hope lots. I've been to this league for 8 seasons, about 3 years or so in total, and these are a fast bunch of guys. So when you can come out on top here, it is a big W.
Yeah,
definitely not a first race, but a first time winner. I was just talking to Mike earlier. This is your 115th start, so glad to see you get that monkey off your back and start the race off on the pole. Just really happy for you.
Awesome, I appreciate it, Andrew.
One of my favorite things about doing this.
Oh yeah, definitely getting the monkey off your back, and that's actually happened to another person I know in another league, and he finally got that monkey off his back, and he came back and won 3 in a row.
Woo! Well, I hope that's something that I got in store here. So
heck yeah! So always getting that first win is always bittersweet, and then it finally unleashes something in you. So we're definitely looking forward to a lot more out of you here this upcoming season. And Andrew, do you have anything before we get him to say his thanks?
No, just congratulations again, and yeah, we'll pass it off to you to give your thanks.
Yeah, Philip. Is there anybody that you would like to thank before we let you go?
I got way too many people to thank. I'm going to make it really short. I want to thank my wife, my kids, my dog, my everybody that runs in this league, Andrew for putting this league on, and I'm telling you, we're partying victory lane tonight, baby. We won Vegas.
Heck yeah, Philip. Congratulations, buddy, on your victory here tonight. And you have a lot of momentum heading into next week at Homestead. We will see you then, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, guys.
Enjoy.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get out rolling tonight, let's take a look one more time at your race schedule for this upcoming season. And it all starts next week at Homestead, Miami. And then we start rolling it through to Nashville, up to the Pocono Mountains, then back down to Myrtle Beach at that legendary short track. And then to round out November, it will be Atlanta Motor Speedway. We have a lot of fun and enjoyable racing for you coming here in the next couple months right here on the Tuesday Truck Series for Racers Elite. And let's see. What else am I missing here, Andrew? What's your final thoughts on today's race?
Yeah, this was a fun race to get my feet wet with, and it's always rewarding to see a first-time winner. And yeah, it's not too late to come join us and race if you liked what you saw tonight. We've got brand new season starting next week, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 brand new ones, and got another one coming up on Friday shortly after that. So just head on over to our website, racerselite.com. You can find a Discord invite there, and schedule, standings, everything's on there. Shoot me a message. We've got tryout races the next 2 nights. You can jump in, see how you like it, and if you do, continue for points the following week.
Yep, so make sure you guys scan that QR code or go to racerselite.com. Come join us here all week long on Racers Elite Network, and do yourself a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell to get notifications for every day we go live. And I believe that will wrap it up for us right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway here on Racers Elite Network. On behalf of myself, Mike Taylor, Andrew Teft, and Christian Hill behind the cams, we want to thank you guys so much for coming out and joining us here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And we will see you guys next week live from Homestead Miami Speedway. Remember, 7:45 Eastern race time. We will see you guys then. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, happy time zones.